I told you last Sunday that I would talk to you about this uncovering his feet business. You may expect me to tell you that is some ancient custom in Jewish life that prospective wives practice. And you had to uncover his feet before you got asked to get married or something like that. I hate to disappoint you, but I think the reason that Ruth told Naomi to uncover his feet was so that he'd wake up when his feet got cold and realize that she was there. There isn't any particular custom that this goes back to. But in this case, cold feet led to a wedding, not to the cancellation of one. Now, if you've got an inquisitive mind, you might have been wondering what really happened that night. If this had been a modern movie, we would know what happened. So you're wondering, what kind of hanky-panky went on that night? I'm just going to give you my opinion. This is a quote from a respected Old Testament scholar, Dr. F.B. Huey. This is what he wrote. Those who interpret a sexual relation in this counter reflect their 20th century view of sexual permissiveness. They fail to appreciate the cultural taboos of Ruth's time that would have prevented a man of Boaz's position from taking advantage of Ruth, thereby destroying her reputation and endangering his own. Biblical writers were not squeamish about describing sexual encounters, but the writer of Ruth has deliberately refrained from saying there was a liaison between Ruth and Boaz. Both Ruth and Boaz acted virtuously in a situation they knew could have turned out otherwise. I agree with Huey. I don't think anything sexual happened that night. There is one other place in the Old Testament where a couple of times this idea of uncovering the feet is mentioned. And at the risk of being indelicate now, just before lunchtime, that means when you're out on the trail somewhere, that means when you stop to go to the bathroom. That was the King James way of describing it. But uncovering of the feet is never mentioned in a sexual reference in the Scripture. So here's our lesson. God always rewards our acts of faith. God always rewards our acts of faith. God rewarded Ruth's faith by seeing to it that she received Boaz's love and affection. The key phrase about this is in the New Testament. In the book of Hebrews, where it says, without faith, it is impossible to please God. Because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. You remember Naomi's complaint way back in chapter 1? She said, I left full and I returned empty. When she left Bethlehem, she had a family, a home, husbands, sons, enough resources to go out and travel and live abroad. But she returned empty. Ruth's testimony is just the opposite. She came to Boaz empty, she returned full. She had a cloak full of grain, and she had a heart full of hope when she went back to her mother-in-law. Folks, faith is coming right up to the edge of everything that you can see and feel and perceive, and then taking one more step. When you get right out to the limits of your headlights, and you keep going. It's believing that God will either be there to catch you, or if he's not there to catch you, he'll be there to teach you how to fly. But he won't let you down. He won't fail you. Is there an area of your life this morning where you need to obey God by